look at me. Look at Grandpa. He's taking your picture.
Can you smile?
Smile.
Ben?
Look at that red light. See, it's on. That means he's taking your picture. Smile at Grandpa.
Can you wave at Grandpa?
James.
Wave.
Wave at Grandpa. Wave at him.
That's a boy.
Look at the camera.
No. Wave, come on.
Say something. It's got a microphone on it. It'll tape on it. Don't look like a bunch of dummies. You've seen cameras before. What?
Oh, I can see the word on your nose.
What? Yes.
Mine?
Sure.
Go say something.
You feel it?
Say something.
No?
Grandma's going to see this, and you haven't seen Grandma in a while. Say something to Grandma. Like about when her next letter's coming.
Tomorrow. Tomorrow, the mail's not that bad. Ooh.
Are you still waving?
I don't know.
Is Benny still waving?
Yeah, he's still waving.
That's a boy. Wave.
It's Monday for sure.
That's a boy. Still waving, eh?
Can you say hi to Grandma?
Hi.
Hi. Say hi, Grandma.
Say hi, Grandma. Grandma's going to see
Grandma.
the picture.
Hi, Grandma. Hi, Grandma.
Why are you blushing? You haven't done anything yet. Dance, sing, do a headstand, do something. Tell Grandpa a joke.
Can you do a cartwheel?
I've tried. On the ground, do your dance.
No, you can't. He doesn't have any shoes on. I'll tell you, where are your boots?
Big silly face. Big silly.
Babe.
I bet you all hear the dog.
Yeah.
Hi, Grandma. This is.
What? Well, say something to Grandma. She's going to see this.
You say something.
You can picture your house over there.
Yeah.
And see you all jump around and
Well, do
make
something.
some
Don't
noise
just sit
now.
there.
Give us an idea.
Huh?
Dance.
Another idea.
How's school?
Good. Good.
Good?
Grandpa, what you got planned for next week? What's going on at school next week?
Monday, you mean?
Yeah.
Final? Oh. Well.
You just told me a big spiel about what you're doing this in school for your final picnic or whatever.
Well.
James, what's happening to you on Friday?
I'm going to the zoo.
What zoo?
The Edmonton Zoo.
All day? Are you walking?
No.
Well, how are you doing?
Bus.
By bus.
Probably 6 or 2 or 6 or 1. Alright, my turn.
Okay, let's see. What are you doing next week?
Well, on Monday we're gonna go first swimming, and then we're gonna go back at the school where the cliff is down to Pembina Park, and then back up to the highway, and then finish off our final.
Sarah, what about you?
Maybe on Monday I might be sending you a letter.
Oh.
You might be, eh?
Yeah, mine will be in by Monday.
What about Benny?
Ben,
Then,
tell Grandpa.
say something.
Tell Grandpa what you're going to do next week. You going to help Daddy weld? You going to help Mom with the chores? What chores are you going to do?
Feed the chicken.
And what else?
Feed the duck.
And what else?
Feed the chicken.
Yeah, but what else? What other animal you got to feed?
Pig.
You have pigs too, right?
Right.
Right.
Sarah.
And your turkeys.
What?
And the turkeys.
Oh yeah. I'm feeding the turkey. Dad, is the calf up there? Maybe you can tape the calf to show Grandma.
Whose tractor?
That's the neighbors up the road here.
Oh, yeah.
I did a bunch. It was a trade-off.
Hey,
That's
look at pig.
good pile of money for that tractor. I figure it's a good trade.
Yeah.
These guys, I can have it for as long as I need it. And it'll handle all the weight.
Get him.
And the baby's got that trick.
The cow on the right, those two laying right beside her are both her calves.
Well,
That one on the left is her.
What do you teach first?
Do you have the same teacher for every subject, or do you have
Not all of
different
them.
teachers?
Most of them. I have. Is that on? If it is,
No, I don't think he's got it
there's a
on
red
there.
light on it. That's on. Oh, okay. What's that mean? No, he'll tell us. Anyway, the same teacher, I know. For gym, I get two other teachers. I get Miss Valero and Mr. Thiessen. And for French, I get Mrs. Davies. For health, I get Mr. Meyer. Sometimes. Usually, yeah. He's my French teacher.
Hmm.
And then the rest of the subjects go with Mr. Wilco.
Oh, yeah. How about you, Sarah? How many,
what about James?
how many teachers do you have?
I have...
What about
The
James?
grade 3 teachers
Yeah.
keep changing.
What
Like
about
the
James?
first grade teacher.
What about James?
I'm asking James.
Okay. I have, for art I have my regular teacher. For math I have my regular teacher. For health I have Mr. Meyer. For art, no, I already told her. For what else?
Music?
Yeah, for music I have Mr. Can. For, gym I'm Mrs. Maxwell. And let's see, and I have,
And the rest of the subjects are your teacher, right?
yeah, all the rest of my teachers. I only have like not very much other teachers than Miss Maxwell.
Miss Maddox?
No, she doesn't teach me anything.
Okay,
Oh,
Sarah's turn.
What's on?
In grade 1, it's too big. In grade 1, I had Mrs. Johnson, and then she moved away, and now we got Miss Lee. And then in grade 2, I had Mrs. Bystrom, and then she moved away. And then in grade 3, now I got Mrs. Lestertag. And she's usually in most of our classes, and most of the kids are waiting for her to move away now.
You're kind of hard on teachers that they keep moving away on you.
Yeah, I know. My grade 5 teachers, I had 3 of them. I had Mr. Smith, who was really good, and all of us got, I'm sorry, and all of us, I only have to tell about 3 teachers, and all of us were kind of close to him, and then all of a sudden he got a quick transfer.
Mm.
And we were all so mad. And then we got Mr. Jansen for a substitute for a month. And then we got Mr. Lilko, which is our teacher for a long time.
Is it a very big school?
Oh yeah. No, well, in a
it
way,
only goes up to grade 9.
our class has the most in it. We have 35 kids. And including the teachers, we have 37 people. We had, I'm sorry. We had, on the last day of school, let me start this over. On the last day of school, we just got in with all our snacks and stuff because we were going to have a party. And all of a sudden the fire drill went. All of us quickly grabbed our shoes and ran out the door. And we forgot, one person almost forgot the attendance thing. Anyway, when we came, but then they told us that it was a real fire drill. It wasn't an accident. Some wire was burnt out or something and it was making a little fire inside. But they got it fixed. Now it's your turn.
Took you long enough.
Oh, we'll talk. Is it on? Oh, it's on.
now.
No, we can see you.
You look bald.
Now talk.
No, none of them will say anything.
Now it'll be just crystal quiet.
No, it won't.
Say something. I was taking a picture when she says something. You're always jabbering. Say something.
Okay. Hi.
That's better. I'll talk to Grandpa. These guys.
Benny's clapping now,
Ah,
Oh,
He's
tell
got a
Grandpa
big-
about the farm.
He's got a big smile.
we don't even know about the farm. We need to
How
go
do we
back.
know?
Tell Grandpa what you did last night.
Last night?
We slept.
You went swimming
Oh yeah. We met her.
all by yourselves.
I-
Maureen left him in the pool all by
I
herself.
thought
She
you
was
girls were
watching.
going to go and keep Grandpa company yesterday afternoon while he was waiting for Grandma in the car.
I was. I couldn't find Grandpa. He was right in front of the store.
The car was right in front of the store.
I was talking to him.
Oh, Grandpa thought it was Melissa that he talked
I
to.
was talking to Sarah. Did I say Melissa?
Yeah, you told me Melissa.
Ouch.
Just
I look like her.
We've had to move in over at the house.
What a scary
We
picture.
have a whole flock of hummingbirds.
Oh,
There's about 5 or 6 different colors of them too. I put up 3 of those little feeders, and especially when it starts cooling off, about 9 o'clock at night, it's lousy with them. They're buzzing around the house.
it's the same at Rita's and Raymond's and Hudson Bay. There was a lot of them.
But something else we've got, kids don't know about. I had one fly in the house, the jeepers, I thought a bird got loose in the house. We got brown bats.
Oh,
I had the
Yeah.
upstairs door open in their bedroom, and I was just sitting there, I was cleaning up the playroom, and all of a sudden this thing came up and buzzed around my head. It looked like a little sparrow.
where did it come in?
I had the upstairs door open. I got
Oh,
2 doors upstairs. Damn thing flew in, he buzzed around my head, buzzed around the room, and then right back out the door. Yeah, the little brown bats.
Yeah, we.
I didn't know we had any around the house, but like over at the sawmill where I was working night shift, especially around midnight. Boy, it just lousy with them. That whole mill just filled right up with them because we had all the big doors open so we could move steel in and out.
Oops.
Just lousy. Never, a couple of guys just about got hit with them because you'd walk around the corner and they kept flying along.
remember at Lake Isle?
Oh yeah, but they're harmless. We caught a couple of them and we sat them on there. We took our boss up there, took his lunch out of his lunchbox, put 3 of them in there. So when he opened his lunchbox, they just come flying out of there. That was funny.
Ouch.
Put his lunch in the desk. And those goldfinches, they're all yellow with black wings.
Yeah.
A bunch of those up there now. Well, birds that I'd never seen before.
Jeanette, there's
Here we go. Everybody start talking at one time now.
Well, say something.
Merry Christmas!
Happy New Year!
No, I pushed it off. It's finished?
Oh no, we can't do Happy New Year. We don't have any more buttons left. Look behind you.
Dude, I do it.
Push the button again, they'll quit. It's still running.
Come on with that thing, eh? Oh, wait. We insulated the 10 inches.
10 inches.
Huh?
10 inches insulation. What are you putting in? Cotton insulation?
Oh, blow in.
Glue it in. Newspaper.
No, it's not newspaper. That's Henry Lamal bullshitting.
No, it's not that thick. The pipe.
Canada's funniest movies, eh? We get Kathy on there. Tim and his wife.
Me, Kim, and Ashley are gonna go for a walk around. My gum's gonna go for a walk around.
Now we gotta get inside.
At least you can do a smile, Doreen.
He's eating salted peanuts.
No. Hey, Baldy. Kojak.
Medium.
Instead of
The bottom is small.
bought Willie some boxes.
No, I didn't.
Says the Brady bunch, we get the Badinsky bunch. Eh?
Went to Medicine Hat and bought Willie some boxer shorts, and I got those down
Yeah.
the dark ones. So I said to him one night, I said, put them things on, I want to see if they
That's a
look like
yappy
them.
Lamal there.
To bed, and he's got no shorts, and I said, well, where are your shorts? I want to see them. You bought large, and they fell off. And now it's on tape.
That was Mimi.
Got a cow got towed off in North Drumheller.
Yeah. Windy out.
Just when you came down this week, you did that.
Yes.
Well, they were in the back of the truck. They rode for 120 miles in the back.
Long enough for me to even get her to the bed.
Arlene.
It's covered up.
They're already cut, you just have to
Hey, let's go wheelchair.
Hey, chubby checker. I got a plan.
Chubby checker, you do so.
Hey. Let's line up. You ready?
Get down, Mel. We'll play with it. Mel and Elmer play.
No, I'm done.
You're not playing.
I have it on. I'll ask you to throw one on. Now next week, somebody else plays.
Horseshoes! Horseshoes!
Who wants to play?
Horseshit! Horseshoes! Get over here, we need 4 people! 4 people!
One there, get over here.
Hey, I don't want to show you up. Come on! Hey, 3 hands.
I was just gonna say, you never have to worry about somebody stealing your husband when it's your wife. Well, kids, you ready? I'm sure I'm puffing. I haven't even left my chair. You don't clap?
Don't throw it! Don't throw it!
Handstand.
Make lots of noise and jump and holler and do whatever you like.
Wally. What you doing? Meet me halfway. Come on, meet me halfway. Meet me all the way.
I know what you do. We should get a ride in that car.
No. You tell me.
You're probably wondering why I'm the only one eating. I
Right.
was the one that did all the cooking and then the last 2 weeks.
Is that the reason? I knew there had.
Everybody else has done it, but I had to do all the cooking.
I knew there had to be a reason for it, Mel.
What I'm used to about that.
I guess, anyways, to see how long I could better not start off too terrible. What did Bonnie and Daryl say that tea house? Like an hour?
He's not going to have that video forever. Come on, go with me. Come on, right now.
Oh, she said, you'll never get me on film.
Come on, I'm going to come to the yard. Bonnie, don't forget.
Doris,
Oh, yeah. Oh.
you didn't think I'd get you, but I did.
You said you'd get me and you got me.
Yeah, I got you.
Come down before you run down the street. Hi.
Yeah. Dirt is fire. Guess what's wet? Hi, Mom.
What's the peanuts?
Your hand? Kathy Gerlitz, if Ronnie don't know.
Now we know for sure that's Kathy.
Yeah, this is Kathy. Kathy, look at her.
Look at me, Kathy. Come on, look at me, Kathy. Quit eating and look
Yeah,
at me.
this is the one that didn't know who she was like 2 years ago.
The little one in there. Kathy's youngest, Shirley, Henry Vidensky, and Spud. That's got to be a white sitting there by the looks of that, eh?
Eyes closed.
Yeah, there. Vidensky.
Across the top and it comes
That's
down.
the other Bernaski.
Just a minute.
What you're eating, Doreen?
You got me yesterday, that's all you need.
You should do some of this. Eat, then you put a weight on like me then. While we're at it.
Yeah, he has a smile. Come on, Rufus, give us a wave and a smile.
We thought his commentary was a little grody. I think he made a good evangelist on TV. Margaret, did you talk to him?
Part of it, I come over here to have some more.
Oh, you did good.
Wally?
Margaret hasn't talked to you yet.
I got Margaret. She didn't know I got her, but
Oh, is that right?
Elmer and Dolores.
Arthur's. That Arthur Johnson boy is hungry.
Oh, you betcha.
Yeah.
Well, you better have something to
Larry,
eat.
did you want to shave?
Yeah.
Can we have another bite of
Looks like Marley's trying to catch up to date.
Dave, lift your cap up.
Dave, take your cap off.
Why? It's got the company name.
Yeah.
We were, when we come to introduce you to everybody yesterday, the kids were all saying, we know that, where do we know her? And wasn't it her that was playing the organ?
Yeah.
On the tape? Okay, we've got that tape at home, and the kids are watching. Oh, that's the organ lady. Yeah, because you get all the music on the tape and everything. Yeah, they said, yeah, she's the organ lady. Yeah, good.
I'm trying to get this out. And I had to play the guitar too. Too, that's Mom.
I doubt it.
Mom, do I know how to play guitar?
There you go. Well, you saved one of them.
If you get some more, don't turn it off.
Who is it takes care of it?
The community.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Really
Come
neat.
on,
Really
I'm
cleaned up
tired.
nice. Really.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not a fair
Got
trade.
you both.
There you go. And and then I think one of them all of you together. I think.
Get up there so we can see you,
Barry
brother.
Manning, Hiller. This is my sister Brenda, and she's very, very shy. Come on, Brenda, get up and smile to the camera.
We got a picture of Brenda
She
already.
likes to fight too.
She didn't know it, but
I'm sorry.
Do you want to touch her? You can just ask her. She's a real friend, this way. Her name's Sophie, and she's 7 years old.
Yeah, I'd like to have it. My husband's gonna take a picture. Now I'm gonna be crawling. It's just the idea of having it around my neck, but I'm gonna do it.
Okay, look at the camera and we'll do it real fast. Keep that smile on your face.
now smile while you're doing it.
Not the scared
Not
look.
that bad, is it?
No.
You'll feel just the same.
Just the idea of it.
Yeah.
And all you got to do is put your hand down underneath her there.
On your home videos when you start screaming?
You don't need to squeeze it, just point at the camera. You got her?
Yeah, I got
You
her.
okay?
Smile for the camera.
I'm
Yeah,
just
you
looking for
and the
coffee. I'm
snake.
back
My kids won't believe this when they see this. No, she's so nice and soft. I never thought the day'd ever come I'd have one take it away.
Here she comes.
Okay. Real good one. Yeah, I want to get that one. Good one. Candy.
Merry Christmas, Dave and Marlene. Merry Christmas to you, Melissa and Sarah. And Merry Christmas to you, James and Ben. And have a happy birthday, Ben. I hope you all get a lot of enjoyment out of watching this video and other videos. I want to wish you all a very happy new year for 1992.
Exactly the same thing as you did.
Well, say what you're going to say.
Merry Christmas, Dave and Marlene and the family. I hope you have a very happy one, and we'll miss you for the holidays. Hope you can make it down soon. And a happy birthday, Ben. You're getting to be a big boy, aren't you? Now I don't know what to say.
I was saying
So-
happy birthday to Ben.
Happy birthday
to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Ben. Happy birthday to you.
And that's the extent of our video. You think we'll ever get that?
Hold it like this and you can't
Happy
show
birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Grandma. Happy birthday to you.
Make a wish, blow them out. Oh, geez.
2 boyfriends.
3.
I ain't gonna bend the cake, otherwise they'll see that.
I got blue
Does
cards.
this mean we have to have cake all over again?
No, I got icing all over me.
I'm gonna save this for later on tonight. I am stuffed.
I hope you're not taking a picture of me licking my fingers.
Do it, Grandpa. Guys, we're starting to eat cake all over. I want some more cake. No. Cake, please.
That was a big piece of cake after supper.
Cake still tastes good at age 65, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Now.
Well, you go ahead and check your damn film out there. Roll it. How many scoops there, bud?
I got it right here.
That's all slim.
How many scoops? Yeah, one.
Slim Humphreys eating ice cream.
Always eat. Another big bite disappears. Well, nobody ever talks during videos, but I'll try to do my best to let you know that I'm enjoying having a good time here eating ice cream and cake, and hope that whoever sees this has a good time doing whatever they're doing when they see it. You can shut it off now, Uncle Walter. And back to the matter, that's where it did come from, I think.
It did
The box did too come
Oh,
from
the box
Rosar. Don't you tell me that cake mix box didn't come from Rosar.
I was gonna say.
And yes, it's on the film, that's okay. And if Uncle Walter shows this film to Auntie Olive, I've got just as big a mouth as she had, so there. Smile, Mother. He's taking your picture now.
She doesn't say much when she's on film,
No,
huh?
not a whole lot. She lets us yappy mouth kids say a lot more for her.
That's why I've always been silent. I had too many happy kids.
Should have started whacking us a long time ago.
Well, I did start whacking you a long time ago.
Yeah, you notice how I flinch every time you move, too.
Poor thing.
Put your willow switch away.
all the time. According to Ralph, he was beat all the time.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Mom used to chase me around the house many a time with a switch.
I cracked you one time that I remember.
Yeah, one time, heck.
I cried afterwards myself.
Look at the camera, Cheryl.
At Grandma, eh?
Yeah.
Grandma Cheryl.
This is my granddaughter Cassie.
And she's 8 weeks old today.
That's right.
8 weeks old today. And Grandma's spoiling the heck out of her.
You bet.
It looks like it rocking away there.
Oh my.
Show the baby, yeah.
Yeah. They don't want to look at you, Cheryl. They want to look at the baby.
I think you get around the right way here.
Don't look at great grandma either.
Oh, there.
Yeah, stick your tongue out at Uncle Walter. That's a good idea.
I think a good deal. She's cute. Sure got lots of hair.
Yes, it sure has.
Like this.
Yeah,
Hi!
well,
How'd you do that?
There, now he is.
Oh, hi, Brandon. Say
This is
hi.
Brandon, Heather, Jessica, and you know me.
Yeah. Have fun. All right. Kevin, he's got you on tape. Right. Russ has got your head.
Hey, bud. Come on, Selena.
Now he'll be able to know if you're getting the right,
They're watching this, see if I put the right card.
Now, don't be cheating now.
Okay, come on, Louise.
There you
You
go.
need a big grin.
Don't smile at Louise, it might wreck you.
There she's smiling.
Oh, here comes that Ronnie.
Oh, no.
She's gonna block the screen again.
Uh-oh.
Get your feet up. Don't. I put the light back on. I thought maybe we'd have to get. There's lots of talk to the camera. We get you up. Close. Yeah.
Hi, camera.
Yeah.
No, everything you say is recorded.
everything you say too? Yeah, well, it wasn't that one that we got of
So
Renee.
just don't talk dirty right now.
Yeah, sure, it'll make it good.
Say something dirty.
Yeah.
That's what, I'll have to show you that one we took of Renee's, her graduation party, eh?
Yeah.
Well, Brian borrowed the camera from his sister and nobody'd ever run it before. Well, we got some spots where there's nothing at all and other where you're getting belly
Wow.
buttons instead of head.
Here comes Henry Lamont with his horse. Can you jump on in the field, Henry?
Getting your video?
Yeah. Can you jump on him in the field?
Huh?
Can you ride him bareback?
Oh, I can, but I don't know if I can jump on him while it's
Yeah.
so high for me, eh?
Yeah.
I can't jump on anymore. Okay, get up there. Go get up there a little farther and have a drink. Go over here. Get over here. Come on. Come on. There you go. Okay.
He's too busy looking at the camera.
Huh?
He's too busy looking at the camera.
Yeah.
Get a good picture of him looking at the camera.
Yeah. Oh, man. Oop. Easy now. Don't get excited.
He's good for smiling at the camera, the horse is. Yeah.
Just show your teeth.
Yeah.
Easy. Here, come on.
He likes that grass.
Easy. Easy. There, cut it up. Cut it up. Cut it up. Okay. I've been on her for a long time now.
Yeah.
Oh, there
Can't leave the farm without getting a picture of the nanny goat. Hey, Nanny, come here. Come here. Come here, girl. Come here. Come on. No, she's not having any part of me.
Marge and Margaret and Dick.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
None for me.
Margaret and Dick are going to the Tyrrell Museum today. And then,
You're going to Drum, eh?
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And they're going to Calgary Stampede.
Hard Marjorie too, or just?
No, just,
Yeah.
I bet they got a lot of rain in Calgary, maybe, eh?
Yeah, it was really pouring when we were cutting over there. The cloud was just black and about, I don't know, 30 miles wide, you can see it. And it's funny, it stretched like a long plume way out this way, right over top of us.
Yeah.
And it was that way for a long time. And then it rained for a little bit, and then it quit. So I just kept cutting there. So, just spit enough to got the hood wet on the tractor, and then it quit. So I just kept cutting, and then it started to, lots of lightning around. So I finished the piece I was on, so I just went over and got the truck.
Yeah,
and got Kelly and Glenn.
You don't mind us
It
smoking?
started to really flash then.
Yeah.
It was raining heavy when...
cereal over and sit down. on this stool.
Yeah, you're good, Kelly.
Probably get my ear. Be like Johnny Watt. He never run the camera, he borrowed somebody's camera. They had 2 inches rain down there, and he wanted to get a picture of all that rain. And, he looked and he was looking at it backwards, and there was a picture of his ear.
Oh.
He was had it the wrong way around.
No, he wants to make a video of each family.
Oh, yeah.
Doug Lister.
No.
He was Bert Willis' husband, and Bob was in partnership when they first started farming, but somehow or another Bob rooted them out. And,
That's enough now.
That's the only time we can get Edith to shut up is when we put her on movie. Show some pictures of their history. I have some photos of her grandparents that I'll take, and some pictures of her parents and of her children. A little bit of the past history of the family on both my side and Ronnie's side of the family. This is a book that we have on the Ryning history. It was compiled by some of our cousins. There's a lot of interesting information in this book. It tells quite a bit about the history of the Rynings. This is my grandfather, John Martin Ryning, born November the 6th, 1858, in Trondheim, Norway. At the age of 14, he went to sea as a ship's helper, or a cabin boy. In 1881, he rose to the position of a merchant marine, was in second in command on his ship. He was married August the 20th, 1881, and on September the 8th, 1881, he and his bride sailed on the ship Tasso to Hull, England. They traveled from Hull to Glasgow and boarded the steamship Ancora, and arrived in New York on September the 28th, 1881. He worked there for a time as a stevedore, and then moved to Morris, Minnesota, and then to Duluth, Minnesota. They moved to Rowley District in 1910, where they farmed. In the mid-20s, they sold their farm and moved to New Westminster, BC, where they retired and where they both died and are buried. This is a picture of my grandmother, Iona Sophie Pedersen, Ryning, born March 8th, 1857 in Trondheim, Norway. This is a photograph of her as a young girl. Here we have a photograph of Grandma and Grandpa Ryning and my dad that was taken in Portland, Oregon in 1909 while they were on a route from Duluth up into Canada here. They stopped over in Portland for quite a few months that Grandpa worked there as a painter. This is the latest picture I have of Grandma Ryning. She's second from the left on this photo. This is with a group of the church ladies at Rowley that this picture was taken. This would be in the late 1900s, early 1920s. This is the earliest picture I have of my dad, James Walter Ryning. This was taken approximately in 1904. He was age 4 at the time. That was taken at Duluth, Minnesota. Here's a picture of James Walter Ryning at the approximate age of 14. This is a picture of my Uncle Harold, my Aunt Edna standing, and Dad sitting in the front. He looks like he's in a less jovial mood than he was in the last photo that was taken. This is a picture of our family taken in 1948. My dad, myself in the background, from left to right is Agnes, Edith, Mona and Mom. In the foreground is Shirley. Here's a picture of Mom and Dad, Ruth Matilda Ryning and James Walter Ryning, taken at Christmas, approximately 1945, 1955, I'm sorry. This is a picture of Mom and Dad on our 41st anniversary in 1966. This is a family picture taken at Mom and Dad's 50th anniversary. The background is Agnes, Edith, myself, and Shirley. The foreground is Dad, Mom, and Mona. This picture was taken at the Bow Falls in Banff in 1961. Dad in the background, Mom sitting beside Ronnie, and Diane standing, and next to her is Corinne Lamall, and then Dave next to her. This picture was taken approximately in 1939 and 1940 of myself and my uncle Harold Ryning. He died of an early age of an unknown disease somewhere in the mid-1940s. This is a picture of me in my first car, which was a 1929 Graham Page. This was taken in 1949 at the Kananaskis mine camp. I wished I had that car today. This is a picture of my grandparents on my mother's side. It was taken in Rugby, North Dakota in 1901. It's Olivia and Hildus Hiller. They moved to Canada shortly after this and homesteaded very close to where the Rynings homesteaded. This is a picture of the Hiller family taken approximately 1909. From left to right is Grandpa, my Uncle Albert Hiller, Hiller, to be later Johnson, Grandma holding Elmer Hiller, with my mother in the front of Grandpa. This is Ronnie's grandparents, Jeremy and Annie Trottier. Grandpa was born May the 1st, 1861, died September 1919. They were both Canadian born and both originated from Quebec. They moved from Quebec to Saskatchewan, and that's where they died. This is Ronnie's dad, Adlord Trottier, born Quebec, April 8th, 1888, died May the 2nd, 1964. This picture was taken at age 21. This is a picture of Ronnie's mother, Melvina Trottier, who was taken at age 19. She was born March the 5th in Quebec of 1891. She died July the 1st, 1963. Both her and her husband Adlord are buried in Hudson Bay, Saskatchewan. This is a picture of Ronnie's mother and dad with their two oldest children, George on the left and Aldia on the right. This is a picture of Ronnie's mother's parents, George and Helen Tremblay. They were born in Quebec and immigrated out to Saskatchewan in the early 1900s. That's where they lived their life. This is a picture of Ronnie's mom and dad in the back row, and Grandma and Grandpa Trombley in the front row. This is a picture of Ronnie's mom and dad, Grandma and Grandpa Trottier. It was taken in July of 1958. This is a picture of the whole Trottier family. From left to right, Rita, Ronnie, Exilda, Irene, Jeanette, Emma, Aldia, Mom and Dad, George, Albert, Ernest, Joe, and Raymond and Armand in the foreground. This was taken in 1940. This is a picture of Ronnie's mom and her sister Aldia and her two brothers Armand and Raymond with their pet moose. This is a picture of Ronnie and her dad and Irene. This is a picture of some of Ronnie's family, his kids. In the background, from left to right, is Joe and Ernie. Left to right of the girls is Exildra, Irene, Ronnie, and Rita. This is Ronnie's and my wedding photograph taken October the 17th, 1953. This is a family portrait we had taken in 1965-66. Over in Edmonton. This is Ronnie in front of our house in Edmonton with our Japanese rose plant in bloom. This was taken in the late 60s or early 70s. This is Ronnie with Dave and Diane in front of the Christmas tree. This was in our house in Drumheller in approximately 1962. This is Ronnie with Dave and Diane taken atop of Mount Norquay at Jasper. This would be about 64, I think, that this was taken. '65 maybe. This is a picture of Ronnie and I on our 25th anniversary in 1978, October the 17th. picture of Ronnie and I and Dave and Diane taken on our 25th anniversary. There's a picture of David Keith Ryning at 6 months of age. (1957). This is a school picture of David in grade 5 in 1968. This is a school picture of David in grade 6 in 1969. This is a picture of Dave and Diane square dancing at an open air square dance jamboree in Edmonton at one of the parks. This is Dave and Diane on the first boat that we had. This is out on Lake Isle. This is a portrait that Dave and Diane had taken as teenagers. I didn't get the year on that. There's Dave and I with some of our day's catch out of the Athabasca River at the mouth of the Calling River. The biggest one of these is the one that Dave has mounted. And there's some pretty nice pickerel. This is a snapshot of Dave and Marlene leaving the church the day they got married. This is a picture of the three of the old-time Rynings. It's my cousin George Ryning to the left, myself in the middle, and my cousin John Ryning on the right. This was taken at the family reunion in 1990. It used to be one of the toughest hills in the valley. It slides continuously. I guess they're still having a lot of sliding on it as yet. That leads from Drumheller up into the Orkney district once you get down to the bottom of the hill. You travel along the opposite side of the river valley. There's a car going along there right now. It travels all the way down. Bottom of the valley, right down to the city of Drumheller. There's some banks there that have been sheared off with cats because of their sliding, continuous sliding. There's another one of them there that I've done that with. Down around the corner, at this point, it's where Drumheller is. Buffalo on the plains. Beaver Pond in the foothills. Another one of John's paintings of the Hoodoos. There's another one of John's paintings that's called Winter Sunrise. Trail down the valley. That's the valley going back up to Wayne, where there's 11 bridges and 7 miles. Valley up towards Drumheller. River that went over to the old Star Mine at Rosedale. Wilfred Cashane used to work in this mine until it caved in the late 50s. The whole bank caved in across and buried the entrance to the mine. Some of the shale piles there. It's approximately halfway across the bridge. The wobble isn't because of me, no, it's because of this way of the bridge. People walking on it makes it wobble and sway. This was originally was a wooden structure, but they've made it into a metal structure now. Still gets quite sway when people walk on it. About on June the 28th, 1991. It's west of Mourne, Alberta on the Red Deer River. This is the views of the campsite, starting at the south end. You get a view of the two early bird campers that are here. One is our motor home. I'm at this point unaware of who the other camper belongs to, as they've just left it here and there's no one here yet. That's our camper sitting here. Camping in some of the panoramic view of the Red Deer River Valley. cliff off in the distance is a cave-in that happened in the late 30s or early 40s. There's a substantial amount of the riverbank that gave away, covering the road at the time that went through right below this point, under quite a number of feet of fallen rock. The the table packers. Don't stand there all day, guys. You got to dump it somewhere.
Hey, wave hi, Uncle Wally. Hi. Hi. What?
Hey, Sandra, you're supposed to look at the camera. Yeah, that's better.
Hello.
Look at Uncle Wally doing.
Look, Michael.
Look at Michael. You want your picture taken?
Smile.
Oh, look at him.
Look at Uncle Wally in the camera, Michael. You like the camera. Look. Smile. Say hi. You're supposed to say hi to the camera.
Oh, but he's going to go back.
He's too close to get a picture of. Yep.
Put it on. Can you put it on? Let's see you put it on. Put it on.
You got her going, did you, John?
Got her going.
Looks like a good fire.
Put it on. Push it on. Big one, yeah.
Uncle Ben's got a fat head, eh? Oh, Uncle Ben's got a fat head. Look at what Uncle Walt's taking your picture.
Why don't you smile and say hi? Don't eat it. It's dirty. A dirty chip.
Oh.
Daddy's going to make some hot dogs right away.
It's vitamins.
Come on, smile. Okay, put it on. Let's see you put it on. Put your head down in it.
There you got it.
Good boy. Leave it on. Put
Are you leaving? No, you're not leaving.
That's Mr. Adolph Hosley there.
Yeah, hi, guy.
Mel must be looking for something.
You said it right up.
You ought to be in.
Oh, Ruthie's smiling. Smile for the birdie.
Smile for you.
Oh, we get you there. Margaret, you're facing the wrong way.
Margaret.
Green and Dawn on there now.
Go on, man. Leonard, you have to make a speech.
Zoom right in on them. Okay.
I'll stand behind because I'm.
Come on, Leonard, sneak in there. Okay, now we got you.
Will I grab you a little lower?
Well, I don't care where you grab me. You might get slapped.
Is that right?
Got to sneak in to catch Leonard there.
Do you know how to run that camera?
I haven't got a clue, Leonard.
Well, you better get started.
There's Leonard, Doreen, Dawn, and Marion. Who's the other fellow?
You're gonna full of hot air, are you?
Who's the one with the beer?
That's Bernard.
That's Bernard.
Yeah, the car's gonna run over you there.
That's okay. I've been run over before.
Get your eyes. Hey, the shutter's on your camera.
Oh, for goodness sake, look at
Come on, Marion.
Take a picture of me eating watermelon.
Yeah, you can turn your head away. Yeah, that looks better.
No, I don't know. We walk over here and go to the bathroom. Come on, let's go.
We got a bathroom in our
Big, pretty smile.
And my kids.
And your kids. Where's your kids?
They're in the net.
In the nest.
In the cage. Greg.
Wave.
Christina. That one.
Break the camera. We got the guy on here right now that'll do it.
The voice is on, you gotta tell a story.
Come on, talk to me, Lloyd.
Hi, Ollie.
How you doing? You need a shave, Lloyd.
Yeah, that's all right. Next year.
Next year.
Did you ever ride on route?
Gladys Hiller riding a motorbike. That's something I thought I'd never see.
You don't just take that.
Mona riding a motorbike. How about that?
To start the day out. You always look that miserable.
And you said I wouldn't get you on film, Doris.
What?
That's one time in your life you've done something, Dolores.
Yeah. Usually around.
Yeah. Dolores has 2 boys on film here too. Smile, guys, you looking happy now.
Oh, yeah.
Early in the morning you sure look happy. That's Ruby's oldest, youngest girl.
Yeah.
What's her name?
I don't know.
Okay, we'll have to get that on. Howard doesn't
Did
look
we
any
get-
better now than he did.
Yeah, and filled out
Anyway.
Mona sure looks hungry anyway. There's Renee and Aggie and Ronnie. And here we've got John Ryning and Howard White standing.
Jumbling it out.
Drumheller running.
George Ryning and his wife Doreen. I'm taking a picture of you, Doreen.
Oh, yeah.
Here we have some canoes coming down river. That's John Ryning standing in the foreground with binoculars. We'll zoom in on the canoes here. They're just coming around in behind in the islands in the river there. There's about a dozen of them all told coming down river.
And stuff, and so I said, you go through it, and if there's any mistakes, fix it up.
Gladys and Edith.
He went out to do stuff. He didn't, you know.
There's Hiller and her husband.
It's not raining. It's if I take it that
Vinsky standing behind.
Years and years ago.
Laura Peterson. Aggie and Ronnie. And we have Waldy Peterson. And Elmer Hiller from Mona again.
We're all, we used to play cards all night, right?
One of the happy campers back in there.
See your sister on the motorcycle. You'll have Wally will have to show you. Yes. Yeah, we can do first right.
Maureen and Gail. And, hey, Bev, you're supposed to wave. Tracy!
We traveled all the way to Washington through all the water.
Wow, Kathy.
Oh, those abused husbands. That's good, right? Yeah. Equal opportunity life. That's your
My hair's messy. Just a minute, I gotta go curl it. We're getting her best side when she was turned that way.
I don't know if we can see the rating on this or not.
There we go.
James Walter Ryning. December the 10th, 1899.
I guess they did die. I didn't think they died the same
May
year.
the 16th, 1975.
This is both in.
Ruth Matilda Ryning.
Flowers to bring up, I never used.
Born September the 8th, 1905 to January 28th, 1981.
It's February 3rd when she was buried.
Olivia Hiller, 1877 to 1964. Hilders Hiller, 1870 to 1945.
Or she was buried on that.
Arthur Nerella Johnson. Nerella, born 1909, died 1983. Arthur, born 1900, died 1983. That's Grandma and Grandpa Hiller. And Grandma and Grandpa Ryning. Here we are, Sunday, June the 30th, at the campsite, starting at one end, and going to the other, of all the campers that are here. Filled with faith as usual. More of the Hiller bunch busy eating. The Rynings have just found a bird's nest in a tree. Somewhere up in the tree there, they said there's a bird's nest. And a bunch of the Ryning group.
We're only about 5
So far yet on
Hi there, Chief.
Then he fell on.
Yeah. Any more will burn the film out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you take care, Wally. We'll see you.
I wouldn't come then. Long as I had to spoil was about an hour. That's all I can handle. I don't know where she got that. I learned that. She got somebody to be on for hours. I said, are you kidding? I can't do that. I wrote journals that day. Oh, that's quick. Uncle Wally's taking your picture, brother. Smile and wave at your brother.
Yeah.
Well, you guys have a good summer, and you never know. We'll be back down in the vicinity, down through here at least 2 or 3 times. So we never know when we're going to see you. I said we never say see you when because we never know when we're going to see you.
Don't expect us till you see the whites of our eyes.
I said I never expect anyone to Fort McMurray. If anyone ever rang my doorbell, I'd be so excited you'd think it was the Queen of England.
The Ryning family.
Well, yeah, it's your room that's got them developed and sent.
Donnie Borwick standing right here. Hey, Donnie, look at me. Don!
Don, look at the camera. Smile.
Smile.
Silver Hiller. Francis. Standing in the back row.
That's why he's trying to get all the family to get on this trip.
You need a smile, Dorothy. There we are.
through the TV. Oh yeah, through the VCR. Onto a picture.
This one you can
Somebody want the sound on, so you all want to talk loud now.
Careful what we say,
You know how to swear, Herb? No?
Does that show everything in black and white?
No, it's in color. That's Dave Ryning.
Is that right? Mine is all in black and white.
Oh, is it? Can you see Julie there with me here?
Let me get a picture of you walking. Now there's a telephoto lens of the hole. There's a little closer up shot of him now. I'm not very afraid of the people. Right adjacent to the campground here, and we're not too much worried about people. That was built in 1990, the replica. The original was built in 1958. Only getting ready to get married in the little church now. You're getting ready to get married in the little church, huh? We used to bring our children over here when it was first built. Ronnie tickling the tumor of a dinosaur in Midland.
Now it's on. Yeah. Yeah, I've got it on right now.
Dinny the dinosaur. Drumheller Bridge, Drumheller, Alberta. Ronnie's standing, she's captured him now. She's got him by the leg. This is our old house in Newcastle that we built in 1959. This was Mom and Dad's property. They built a new house on it since then. Yeah, Ronnie and I nailed many a board on that one. Ronnie did all the interior woodwork. Henry and I and Howard shingled the roof. That's the Huckluck place next door. None of it has changed too much since we built it. This is the first house we lived in when we moved to Drumheller in 1954. It was right next door to Border's store. That's changed a little since then. But the old house looks just about exactly the same. Been refurbished a little. It's pretty well the same house it was then. And just up the street from us was the old Newcastle Hotel, and it's still there.
So it's all right to talk about anything you're thinking about.
Even Mr. Rogers is doing public service announcements about it now, and we have to deal with it. Parents have to deal with it, physicians have to deal with it, teachers have to deal with it. The anxiety about war is real, and it's not going to just go away.
A child of your age had gone to bed last night in Iraq, and you heard the noise of the bombs bursting in the middle of the night. What would your feeling be? Jenny?
I'd be really scared, and I'd run to a bomb shelter.
I think the biggest fear for children is that something is going to separate them from their parents. A 10, 12-year-old might be very worried that they're going to die. And a parent might need to be addressing that more. And we have to address it in a way which is going to lower their anxiety rather than raise their anxiety. I think we need to hide some of our anxiety from our children and to help them feel that they are in a safe place, that their homes are safe.
When I look at my parents, I just look at them and say, they just think nothing's gonna happen. I'm just saying, I'm really scared. They might send terrorists over here, and that's what I'm sort of scared of.
I think it's far away, but like people are gonna maybe die.
If there's any people over here from Iraq that could go on, they could be terrorists and go around and do stuff and kill people, innocent people. In Iraq, all the children are probably told that there's a war going on, where to go and what to put on and where to hide and stuff, but came over here, we don't know what to do. We don't have gas masks like they have.
I believe what my relatives in Israel do.
I was scared because I was watching the news, and in the background all these bombs were going off, and I thought as every bomb went off that people were dying.
When kids say to us, is the war going to come to Canada? The war is in Canada. It's in their living rooms every night on the television. And if that television is on and they're in the room, it's very immediate. You know, television is very real to kids.
We're all sitting here in gas masks. It's a little tough to breathe here.
I think this is a good time to remind parents that we have to watch television with our children if they're going to be watching.
Yeah, maybe on the night that,
Is there such thing as mustard gas?
you know, he was sitting there and
Those are kind of
he was just
chemical
glued to
gases
that.
used
He
during
could see it was happening.
And
Yeah.
Saddam Hussein has used it, I think, against his own people.
Hey.
As a parent, I think it's very difficult to realize the acuity of the pain that children are feeling when they hear about war. We decided not to talk to the children as the war was developing during November and December. And then we realized that they wanted to know. They sort of came to us asking questions, and they were having nightmares and crying at bedtime. And we realized that they really had a need to be reassured.
I think that different kids are feeling more or less anxious. And I think you have to look at the age of the child, the personality of the child. We've really played this down with my 6-year-old because he really worries about things.
When was the last war in Canada?
The last war in Canada was a really, really, really long time ago. We've tried to aim what we've talked to him about very positively in terms of we are trying to prevent a war.
Yeah, the next war in Canada might not be as far away as the last one.
Some people might ask themselves whether or not imparting their own political
If we
views
get
to their
all
children
these
is something that they should
Quebecers
view.
separatist movement going and these
These are not
neo-Nazi
morally or ethically
movements
neutral
going,
topics, and I think that
we're liable to
our
have
children
civil
need to
wars
know where we
within
stand
our own
and that
country.
that their parents have a stand, but they need to hear it without the anxiety.
If I was a world leader, I'd have way more talks because George Bush has not had any talks with Saddam Hussein. And war is really bloody. There's a lot of bloodshed and there's lots of missiles.
Like knowing that any moment of the day they can just get blown up.
I think it's important that they know that war is not a glorious, heroic, wonderful thing. and that Rambo is not true, and that war is terrible. But I don't think that a kid who hasn't been exposed to a lot of stuff about war needs to be told over and over again horrible, graphically terrible things that happen to people.
Before we go to bed, I say, Mommy, what if it comes here, and what do I do, and stuff.
Most children, however, are not that verbal about their worries, especially the younger ones. I think you have to look for things like the child not sleeping well, waking up in the middle of the night, not being able to fall asleep at night, because even though there are very few kids who say their prayers before bed now, I mean, I think that if I die before I wake is in everybody's kind of subconscious.
Yeah, why did they put that in the...
There's going to be a war during the night or something.
The prayer before you go to sleep.
If I should die before I wake, I hope the Lord my soul to take. It's, you're asking God to take care of you.
Yeah, but for little kids.
Children, yeah.
It's kind of hard for them to understand.
Yeah, for a 5-year-old to understand, why should I die before I wake?
Yeah.
It's baffling for them.
I was watching the news last night. They showed children in Israel at school protecting their classrooms from poison gases. One small girl said that she was worried about her dog. That made me hurt inside. It made me scared for myself and for the people in the Middle East. I hope that there will be peace and not war.
Yeah, for kids it's scary because they don't understand the scope of the size of the world, you know. And with television, it brings it right into your living room. You know, and for them, it's hard to understand that war is happening clear around the other side of the world.
Well, I remember when we were watching it the first night, that bothered me so much. My nerves were just...
that it was happening,
yeah. That it was happening. I'd never seen anything like it before.
Well, you see instantly the wars that happen.
Yes.
Like, we lived through the Second World War as children. We heard it over an obscure voice on the radio was telling about things that happened. But those things were being reported maybe a week after they happened.
Yeah.
We watched it as it happened this time. We were watching it happen. We're sitting there right with the camera in Baghdad when those bombs started dropping. That's the thing with your satellite television. It brings the war right into your living room.
Yeah.
You see it as it's happening.
It's a new air conditioner.
That's nice, dear.
But, it's scary to adults. You can imagine how that is to children.
Like I was saying, I just bought a new air conditioner. Got a great deal. They say my energy bills could really drop.
A Lennox must be a Lennox.
Yes, I should have bought a Lennox.
Yes, sir. What is ours?
Presenting this week's great news from Sears. Starring our best-selling weather beater deck and siding stain. Your choice now at the price at Sears.
No, I mean the one outside the house.
What's the name of that one now?
We start with some pretty...
Oh, I knew the one for the camper was Coleman, but the one for our house.
I have a choice on my two children the way that I did, and it's great.
Videotapes.
Sure. Weekdays
Everything RCA and Rolls card, which are mixed together, you know.
Last week we looked at the Führer created by an exhibit at the Royal Ontario Museum. It shows the white races in Africa. The curator was herself branded a race and pounded out of her teaching job. A group of African Canadians were riled out.
Installation instructions, that's what I want to take with me for installing it, you know.
Most of it
I gotta take that with me in the morning when I go over there.
The protesters resent any part of Africa being shown through white imperialist eyes. Most viewers said they were offended by the treatment of the curator and the tactics of the protest. Robert Bangage's response was difficult, If some find such exhibits offensive, they should stay at home shrouded by the veil of their own ignorance. The professor responsible for the exhibit was the target of what could only be described as a witch hunt. And this from Maureen Morrison. Your story shows what can happen when a small group of radicals take advantage of white guilt. Most of these protesters are sincerely dedicated to self-promotion and not the issue of racism. Cheryl Stewart criticized the way the University of Toronto treated the curator. The university should be ashamed of itself for allowing a few black racists to disrupt the school. As for the spineless creatures that call themselves professors, I hope my children are never taught by people who cannot stand up for a calling. You can write to us at CTV W5 Box 565 Station F, Toronto, Ontario M4Y2L8, or fax us at 416-609-7427. That's our program.
Dave doesn't get any more building days before the 1st of July, because I've got to draw off that 30-inch, and the 24, and the 20.
Emmy Award winner Peter Strauss and David Morris portray two CIA agents
90 hours of work for those three.
Brotherhood of the Road.
That I'd have to draw.
On 2-3 TV CFRN. 60 Minutes is next.
I ain't gonna get that done before the 1st of July. Gotta finish the motor home off.
Yeah, I'll be glad when it's all finished and I can start putting stuff in it.
Well, I should fix that window tomorrow.
CFRN.
Get that back in tomorrow night.
Swiss Chalet brings back the perfect summer meal. Only 450 calories.
Like I said, if we can get those side ones done before the 1st of July.
Summer days when you feel like having a
Well,
refreshing meal.
The other two we want to have.
I don't think there's any sense of, if they can slide that into place without cutting that window apart, then there's no use even taking the window out. They can do the other one right in there.
Yeah, maybe.
Quarter chicken with fresh salad and breadsticks.
But if it has to be cut apart to be fixed, then I'm gonna have to find, I think Dave Foss does make aluminum. They'll have to cut it apart, put new stripping in it, then I'll have to take it up to get Dave to tack those 4 corners. Because he's the only one that I know in the town that's got aluminum MIG.
When you change yourself,
What? You can't solder aluminum, you said?
No. No, it's...
Isn't there no soldering iron for aluminum?
No. Aluminum doesn't solder. There's a low temperature braze, but you can't do it. You're working on right off the window slide.
Yes.
So it's got to have just a tack put on it. That's all it needs. And it's either take or make one of the two that just needs to put 4 little tacks, one on each corner to hold it together.
Yeah.
That's all it needs. I might be able to even put it together if I drill the hole through and put a screw through without welding. Put a screw through the cornerways.
Yeah, but your gloss goes...
No, right through the corner of the frame. Your frame is U-wide.
Oh.
Put a screw through the corner and hold it. There's a possibility of doing it that way. I'll see anyway once. I'll find out tomorrow what they can do with it.
Of the effects of mustard gas. A lot of them became ill. Some had permanent damage.
We were injured, we were used, abused, and denied, and lied to.
But for the past half-century, the Navy denied these tests ever took place, let alone admitting anyone was poisoned by them, and therefore entitled to compensation.
W5 was on mustard gas, and now 60 Minutes is on mustard gas.
Responsibility for the 2,000 men that was subjected to this.
You mean a financial responsibility? That's what worried?
They certainly fought hard enough to try to avoid any responsibility. I can say that.
She said her election was a message that ordinary citizens have as much right to run City Hall as the politicians do. She got into politics to prove her point.
So I sat down with my family and I said,
your toys,
guess what Mom wants to do? Guess what Mom was thinking about doing? And my son's face was like, oh no, what now? I said, I think I'm going to run for mayor. Of course, you all got a big laugh out of that. And he said, mayor of what? He said, oh, no. And I said, why not? And he said, Mom, they'll destroy you. You're not a politician. And I said, no, I'm not a politician, and that's why I think I've got to run for mayor. I think Bridgeport's had enough politicians.
This man admitted he'd been involved in the girl's abduction and held her while he said this man molested her. Neither was arrested. Both are walking the streets.
Hi, how are you? I'm Morty Safer from CBS. Did you ever molest children? No.
Yes, I did do that. I picked up from Bradford. I had a kid that was 16 years old.
You were picked up by police in Nebraska?
I went to jail for a year. I think I do this on the street team.
I'm Mike Wallace. I'm Morty Safer.
I'm Harry Reisner. I'm Ed Bradford.
I'm Steve Kroll. Those stories and Andy Rooney tonight on 60 Minutes.
Heard what's happening? McDonald's prices. An original hamburger, just 69 cents. A cheeseburger, 79 cents. And a sausage McMuffin, just 89 cents. Price for today? This is McDonald's today. Great value all day.
Rich bubbly shortcake. Delectable chips of cream chocolate, fruit jelly, and vanilla cream. Surely these are the peaks of perfection. When you think of a peak green fruit cream, shortcake, delectable, digestive, nice, or assorted creams, surely there's one too. Peak food breakfast. There is the art of catching fresh food. And then there's the art of keeping
We're going to get the total maximum use out of that battery this way because we're not using the zoom or the light.
How your representative specialties lock together, sealing in freshness. First time, every time. The representative, now on all Ziploc bags.
Toyota Dream Dollar days are here. Buy a selected 91 Toyota and get Toyota Dream Dollars. Up to $600 for Corolla and Camry, $1,000 for Supra, and there's more.
What can I get with Toyota Dream Dollars?
It's up to you.
Really?
Pick up a Toyota Book of Dreams. And use your Toyota Dream Dollars for its great options. Super gifts, even exciting trips.
Great.
Get your Toyota Book of Dreams at your Toyota dealer. Buy a new Toyota and make your dreams come true. But you've got to hurry.
How long till the end of June?
Oh, it's no wonder this is...
Get ready for the Bay Swimwear Spectacular.
Why did you keep this one?
20% on our entire selection of ladies swimwear.
Why did you keep this copy? This is that French copy.
Balzac, Christina, Jansen, Kohler, California, and more.
Where's our Canadian copy?
Swimwear,
English
summer's
copy.
looking spectacular at the Bay. That's all quality colors. Shopping today.
Where'd you put it?
According to the Washington Post last Wednesday morning, quote, faced with the prospect of a 60-minute expose that has not yet aired, close quote, the federal government in Washington has acknowledged responsibility for potentially poisoning as many as 2,000 young naval
You've
recruits
got
in a
that
mustard
loose
gas
copy
experiment.
there, and that's all.
The Post is talking about a group of World War II veterans who were
Oh,
used as human guinea
okay.
pigs in top
Here.
secret mustard gas
That's
tests.
in the garbage. Oh, that envelope, don't throw that away. That's what I want to put in for that, all that foam and to put in the motor home room.
Let alone admitting that anyone
Just
who
gonna check
poisoned
on the
water is
battery.
therefore entitled to collect compensation. But that policy was radically changed this week. One of the men injured in those mustard gas tests was Nat Sherman.
If a horse broke its leg,
Take
they would
these
shoot
phone
it.
books and put them in your,
Just suffer.
in the office.
But we were injured,
them up
we
there.
were used, abused, and denied, and lied to.
In January 1944, Sherman was a 17-year-old seaman training at Bainbridge Naval Boot Camp when he volunteered for what he was told would be tests of summer clothing. But when he arrived at Edgewood Arsenal, the clothing he was issued was very different from what he'd been told to expect. He was given a gas mask, a protective suit, and rubber boots.
I asked the corpsman, what were we testing today? He says, combination of mustard and lewisite. Well, I'd heard of mustard, but I didn't know anything about lewisite, and I didn't know what mustard would do.
Still, Sherman wasn't worried.
The government was not going to do anything to harm me, of course not. I mean, these were people that
Doesn't
were
give you anything
ethical.
Without realizing it back in 1944, Sherman had become involved in a testing program that reached all the way to Australia. Allied military planners were concerned about the effects of poison gas because the Japanese had used it in China in 1938 and might use it again. The Australians were so pleased with their part of the gas testing program that they made this document.
Dave said it was thundering and lightning.
men were given dosage of mustard vapor is by the use of the gas chamber.
Using an active charger power. If you charge your indicator using batteries power, you can burn.
Sustained by American sailors
When a fully charged battery should apply 90 to 120 minutes of operating time.
How long?
90 to 120 minutes.
Was because the U.S. Army, which had suffered over 70,000
That's an hour and a half
in World War I, refused
to 3
to send
hours.
its personnel into gas chambers filled with mustard gas. Mustard is the same kind
No.
of poison gas.
An hour and a half to
Saddam
2 hours.
Hussein several
120
years
is 2
ago
hours.
to attack the Kurds. Dr. William Riegelson, an expert on mustard gas, is familiar with the U.S. Navy tests.
So with it sitting like that, you should get the two hours out of it. Should run that tape through.
It was in a sense it became a combination because they established the man break concept, and that is they would push these men to maximum tolerance to learn how much they could tolerate. Why did they not tell these volunteers what was going to happen? I don't know why they did that.
If it
What
takes-
was sad also was the fact that
It takes another hour and a half to
when they got there, they were
charge
ordered to
it.
participate. They couldn't back out.
Well, they say up to 3 hours.
Also participated in those Navy tests.
But the light goes off.
It only took an hour and a half, but it's a little bit better than an hour and a half to charge it this time.
After you were there. And
They say 3 hours for the first charge.
He did volunteer, it was an order to go into the chamber. And I don't think that anybody in their right mind would have done that at the same time. They
Sure, coming in from north.
I don't think it, I know I wouldn't.
What the guys say among themselves when it is definitely.
Well, we sort of in a catch-22 situation, you know. If we didn't go, there's always Leavenworth.
He was ordered into this gas chamber 3 times. It was even worse than that Sherman. He had to enter the gas chamber 6 times. And during the last test of mustard and lewisite,
Is this a Canadian program?
But I don't think
Is this a
that they were
Canadian
exhausted.
program?
And I think
No.
that's where I understand. Well, I think that they are not running and hiding anymore. I think now they're coming out and saying, yes, this did happen, and yes, there's a problem, and unfortunately, there's nothing we can do about it because we don't have this data to prove that we have disabilities.
that's the way matters stood when we went to talk to Secretary Prince.
I'm concerned about their well-being.
That's the U.S. flag in the back.
Changing the policy. It was difficult for them to prove their case.
Who made it difficult?
The government.
The VA.
No, VA didn't make it difficult for them. The Navy. Everybody did.
The government.
I think it was collectively. The fault can be shared by many departments. The point is what we do about it.
Have you seen this article?
No, I have not.
If I may, Mr. Secretary, let me briefly cover the horrifying case of 4 Navy veterans used as human guinea pigs in chemical warfare experiments during World War II could be agency concerns veterans.
change of heart at the VA happened to coincide with the appearance of telephone cameras.
And your hair stands on end, though. You don't have a picture of it.
That's somewhat misleading. We didn't learn about it, at least at my...
I looked outside here and the clouds didn't look that bad, that's
Well,
why.
if you look out back, they look like
That's why I jumped like I did.
was relaxing the rules for World War II veterans
they're
exposed
pretty
to violent
nasty.
gas, making it much easier for them to collect compensation.
Work very hard on Agent Orange, and mustard gas is very consistent with that. Again, the fact that I learned about it from 60 Minutes or Congressman Porterhouse is not as important as the fact that we admit that if we made a mistake, let's correct it and get on with it.
The VA has no idea how many of the 2,000 young sailors who were exposed are still alive or were injured, but they are trying to track them all down. We asked the Navy about their secret mustard gas tests and about the disappearance of almost all the records of those tests. Admiral Brent Baker, Chief of Naval Information, admitted the Navy had made a mistake. Baker, who declined our request for an on-camera interview, said that just as the Army was wrong to have tested LSD on their soldiers in the 60s, the Navy was wrong on this.
Yeah. But they refused to come on camera and say they were wrong.
Yeah. I feel like nibbling on something and I've got nothing in the house to nibble on. Pour some coffee mate, don't know what it is.
See the difference. Downy gives you luxurious softness. Your family will love it.
So you can eat that French
Downy Sun Rinse Fresh. And April Fresh too.
coffee is that French or something where you chew on.
Yeah.
Mommy, look, there's a
Put a
cloud
little
in the sleeve.
Well, so the
margarine and jam on it.
Alex, Mommy.
well, you can only make these
By
clothes
the
with
time you
special
get that
scents for
eaten,
my
you'd be able to speak
And
French.
even when Mommy cleans the dirty dishes, Hydra keeps my hands soft.
Why would you do that? You're a good bilingual citizen of Canada, aren't you?
Open the window, Mommy,
Why, Pumpkin?
so the clouds can play with their friends in the sky.
I'm really good. It doesn't get any
I'm not Trudeau.
Yeah.
When you get 10% more fresh
Mulrooney's from Quebec too.
10% more luscious
But I am from
more
Quebec.
creamy
Yeah.
and 10% more
No,
rich
Quebecers.
You get a whole lot more
One's as
satisfaction.
bad as the other.
10% bonus bar. Try one now and get ready for more satisfaction.
Yeah, I never thought of today's being Father's Day, or I'd have bought you a box of chocolate. You could have had something to chew on.
Indeed.
Copper Tone is taking the wraps off summer.
Thought of it last night. TV said something about Father's Day. And I looked on the calendar and realized that this was the third Sunday.
Copper Tone. Something special.
They didn't born here on Mother's Day.
Yeah, we did.
Bridgeport,
Did he?
Connecticut was
Oh.
once an industrial powerhouse.
Or did he?
One of America's great manufacturing
Yes, he
cities.
did.
Not anymore.
At night.
With the cost of
It
running
was
the
late
city
at night. They had gone to Edmonton in the daytime.
and facing the prospect of raising taxes, which are already the state's highest, by another 18%, last week Bridgeport did something no other major American city has ever done.
No, that was
Petitioned
my
the court
birthday.
To let the city file for reorganization under the bankruptcy code. The move by Mayor Mary Moran
I don't know
is a
if he did
stunning
or not.
reminder of the dismal condition of many of America's cities. When Harry Reasoner first met Mayor Moran in a story we broadcast a year and a half ago, she had just been elected, vowing to resurrect her city, and was asked if she would swear to faithfully discharge the duties of the mayor of the city of Bridgeport, so help you God.
So help me God, I will.
She's the daughter of Syrian immigrants named Kefar. And in high school, they called her Push. In the yearbook for the class of 1951, she said her ambition was to become the first woman president of the United States. When Mary Moran was a teenager here, Bridgeport was alive. People had money to spend. Business at the theaters and the shops downtown was good.
In this city of 250,000, there are over 80,000 factory workers.
The factories all
The
fell
city's
apart.
factories turned out goods that were in world demand. Mary was in junior high school when this documentary about Bridgeport was made.
One of the vital industrial centers of the United States is Bridgeport, Connecticut.
Not anymore. Bridgeport is like a lot of American cities, distressed, discouraged, and broke. During 2 world wars, Bridgeport was called America's arsenal of democracy. But the factories grew old and obsolete. Foreign competition drove some under. Other companies simply moved away.
In its heyday, this city made everything from sewing machines to submarines, from corsets to machine guns. Now, many of these old buildings are empty. The jobs are gone. The things that were made in Bridgeport are now being made somewhere else.
Look at that.
The mayor has a lot of ideas to bring
We've seen this
Bridgeport back to
before.
life, like developing the harbor,
So
and
the
replacing
first when
housing
she
projects
took
like this
over
one,
as
which
mayor.
is one of the worst in the country.
Is this the room where we have a problem with the roof? No.
But with a $60 million debt, her priorities have to be manageable, like making sure the garbage gets picked up, and there are enough cops on the street.
Look what we've done in a couple weeks here with just the community rallying around this. Look at this.
Another priority, since there isn't any money, is getting ordinary citizens to help the city. For example, asking for volunteers to help turn this abandoned factory building into a shelter for the homeless.
It's amazing. Let me just give you the mentality. When the mayor's concerned about something, everybody's concerned about something. And when the mayor's not concerned about something, nobody's concerned. It's just unbelievable. The quality of life has to be addressed. There's a lot of problems in society now that we're walking away from. We've got to stop walking away from. We've got to start addressing them, coming up with community approaches to solving the problems.
A tough challenge for someone who has no political experience and says she's not a politician. What she is a 56-year-old housewife.
You want any more muffins, Steve?
With 3 children and about to become a grandmother. Her husband, Steve, drives a delivery truck. The mayor's last job was managing a real estate office.
So my message to Americans all over is, if you don't like what's going on, then you've got to get involved.
That's exactly what Mary Moran did. She didn't like what had happened to Bridgeport and decided that she was going to change.
We complain about everything. We have to plead with people who come to public hearings. Well, I think that mentality has to change. And I'm saying to Bridgeporters, I cannot do this myself. You have a woman who's committed to good government. We cannot do it unless this community gets involved in it. I'm not going to let them forget it.
She said her election was a message that ordinary citizens have as much right to run City Hall as the politicians do. She got into politics to prove her point.
So I sat down with my family and I said, guess what Mom wants to do? Well, guess what Mom was thinking about doing? And my son's face words are, oh no, what now? I said, I think I'm going to run for mayor. Of course, you all got a big laugh out of that. And he said, mayor of what? He said, oh no. And I said, why not? And he said, Mom, they'll destroy you. You're not a politician. And I said, no, I'm not a politician, and that's why I think I've got to run for mayor. I think Bridgeport's had enough of politicians.
In Bridgeport, registered Democrats outnumber Republicans 4-1. When Republican Mary Moran entered the mayor's race, most people had never heard of her. But when she asked the voters to give this lady a chance, to give an inexperienced political novice with only a high school diploma a chance, they did.
It's exciting. It really is exciting. How are you?
Mary Moran won. She beat the incumbent Democratic mayor, Tom Busey, in a landslide.
Does she have what it takes? I don't know yet. The jury is very much out.
Dr. Charles Stokes is a professor at the University of Bridgeport.
A Democratic city votes in a Republican woman with no experience.
Look at the eyebrows on that guy.
Look
at his eyebrows.
Yeah.
Good morning. The message that I would like you to get out is, let's start being positive about Bridgeport. We do have a new leader. There's a new mood. There's new cooperation. I'm committed to turning the city around. I'm committed to bringing professionals. I'm committed to taking the politics out of City Hall.
Jim Callahan is a political reporter in Bridgeport.
The wonderful thing about Mary Moran
the
is
shower.
that nobody thought she would win.
So none of the usual gypsies that invest themselves in Bridgeport elections are not invested into this person. So here you have a complete unaffiliated player getting loose in the building.
What happened to Bridgeport anyhow? How did it go from the arsenal of democracy to the verge of economic collapse?
I think quite honestly we lost a lot of the industry. We lost a lot of jobs. The quality of life started to decrease. Our industrial picture started to change, and we weren't able to entice the different kinds of high-tech companies and the service companies that we should have been enticing years back. I don't think that we realized the magnitude of what was happening.
Can she do it? A little lot, sure. Well, I can say a little, a lot.
Is she smart?
She does not have an idea of what's going on in the building, but she can learn. She doesn't owe anybody anything. She only owes the people who voted for her.
Hey, Pat, how are you?
And Mary Moran promised those people a kind of political voodoo. No tax increase and better services. But in spite of her best intentions, there is still economic reality. And in Bridgeport, economic reality is a fiscal crisis so severe, the city's survival is threatened.
This city is mortally wounded. It's not dead. This city has the ability to pull itself up by its bootstraps.
Steve Sasala is the city's budget director. He briefed the mayor.
I went in and said, Mayor, my preliminary figures show that we have somewhere around a $20 million shortfall between revenues and expenditures this year. And she said to me, after listening to me, Steve, there can be no tax increase. She said, if we have a tax increase, she said, Bridgeport can become a ghost town.
You got elected partly because of financial concerns by the citizens, people who are worried about taxes and deteriorating services and so on. Could financial concerns finish you off before you even get started?
That's very possible. That's very possible. I'm not undaunted, though. I really believe that these things don't get changed overnight, Harry.
There's no textbook that tells a mayor how to turn a city around, especially when it's in as much trouble as Bridgeport. The mayor is racing against the clock, trying to buy time to find a solution before the voters turn on her. Reluctantly, she's being forced to raise taxes.
She's truly a populist mayor. But even with that, if we don't fix the problem in the next 21 months, when she has to go back to the voters, they may well decide at the time that they're going to wake up.
There was an article in the local newspaper this week. The federal government kicks the state kicks the cities, and the city kicks the dog. And that's exactly what's happening.
Under the best of circumstances, if we began to address the economic development program tomorrow, today,
You're doing great enough.
the benefits approved, if you will, for a minimum of 3 years.
You said I think during the campaign.
Good thing the mother one isn't sitting outside.
Yeah, that's for sure. We're paying the highest tax in the state, and we're getting the least services for our money. What I said at my inauguration is, I have to prove that I can give you your money's worth.
He's also realized that on top of everything else, the taxes go up again. For sale signs in Bridgeport that run like spring flowers. In better times, cities could turn to Washington for help, but not now. The federal government has its own budget problems. Nevertheless, Mayor Moran went to Washington. The woman who once run in her high school yearbook, and she wanted to be president, went to the White House. She went down to Washington last week to get the president's decision video today.
No, we didn't. No, there's no assistance from Washington. They're right behind everything that we want to do, but what we have to do, we have to do ourselves.
Find the money yourself.
Absolutely.
Streamline the government yourself.
That's right. Are there going to be some layoffs? Yes, there are going to be some layoffs.
This is exactly what has city workers afraid. Their jobs are on the line as the city reorganizes.
We're going to have to lay off in middle management, probably, and top management also. I don't think we can just talk about laying off laborers. And is there going to be a tax increase? There probably will have to be a tax increase.
That will make you very fun.
I know that. And as I said, I'm not here to win a popularity contest.
One night, when we first met Mary Moran, we went with her on a tour of Bridgeport. She was full of energy and enthusiasm. The education of Mayor Moran was just beginning. 2 months later, when we left, she was still optimistic, still determined, but she told us that she had underestimated the size of the job.
Well, I learned it's a lot bigger job than I thought it was going to be. I learned that there are a lot more problems.
Remind me tomorrow to go take a look outside
you
here.
start to go to work and you start to uncover a lot of things that you really don't know
Looks
about.
like,
You don't know about unless you're
where I had the peonies growing, that thing died. Well, it looks like it's coming up.
$1 billion enterprise.
I did in the first couple of weeks. I said, Mary, what the hell did you do? I don't feel that way anymore, Harry. I feel that I am where I should be.
And the mayor told us this week she wants to stay right where she is. She's already announced that she's running for re-election to a second term this fall. That's when voters in Bridgeport will have a chance to register their opinion on Mayor Moran.
Still shows the plumb hole, yeah. Still shows the full battery.
About an hour.
See, that's without any zooming or anything.
Yeah.
But okay, we'll just run it and see how long it takes under ordinary. And then we can put the light on. Let's see how long it takes. Just the light on.
Water-repellent stains give effective moisture protection to siding, shingles, trim, and fences. Choose from semi-transparent or solid hide at just $12.99. For more workwear savings, check your employer. Either one. Cutting the cost of home improvement.
Hi, Dad.
Up for a second there.
I'm taking an air filter every night.
You up with a sun.
Be able to watch yourself jumping.
That yellow
Fast forward on the TV.
Did you start to get curious?
What's that, Dad?
Made with whole grain oats and low sugar.
Remember how I was a kid, I couldn't get enough of this stuff?
Looks like you still can't get enough. Whole grain oats. Grow up to Cheerios. Swiss Chalet brings back the perfect summer meal. Only 450 calories. And for a limited time, only $4.85. There's a great idea for those hot summer days when you feel like having a refreshing meal. Swiss Chalet quarter chicken with fresh salad. A perfect summer combination. Very tasty. Now, every bit of that tender chicken, I'll probably use my fingers.
Guess we better order something. The order that you want.
Quarter chicken with fresh salad and breadsticks, just $4.85.
I took one several times
December of
because
'89,
my
there
leg
have been
is
a number of
cramping.
important developments. We'll get to those later. When 9-year-old Jill Cutler disappeared from her home in Norfolk, Nebraska 4 years ago, it set off the largest manhunt in the state's history. Local police, state troopers, the FBI worked thousands of hours interviewing hundreds of people, and he still had no lead. He's up and off for you. Then this private investigator who's become obsessed with the case and got a confession. This man admitted he's been involved in the girl's abduction and told her, while he said this man molested her. Neither was arrested, both are walking the street. Norfolk, Nebraska is best known as Johnny Carson's hometown. Beyond that, it's a sleeping place in the middle of cornfields and cow pasture. A nice place to grow up. A nice place for kids. Jill Cutler was one of the kids growing up in Norfolk. This home movie of her was made a year before she disappeared. Though her parents were divorced, she seemed a perfectly happy little girl. It was the summer of '87. 9-year-old Jill Cutler was spending the summer holiday with her father and her stepmother in this basement apartment in this building called McNeely House. The routine was this. The Cutlers would leave for work about 6 a.m. Jill would do the dishes and then walk the 4.5 blocks to a babysitter where she would spend the day. Father's routine was typical. Cutler left for work about 6 a.m. Jill did her chores and then apparently left the house and was never seen again. When that search was organized, the FBI was brought in, but nothing. Not a trace of her was found. But 3 months later, in a remote area called Wood Duck, police got their first break. A hunter in this wildlife preserve stumbled across the clothes she was wearing the day she vanished. Purple shirt, white sneakers, blue jeans, and her underwear. The police again launched their masses. The FBI was brought in. They brought in special dogs trained to find bodies. but nothing was found. At this point, the police had interviewed 600 people and still did not have a lead.
4 months later, 7 months after Joe disappeared, the Norfolk police started questioning Kermit Crumroy Baumgartner, a 61-year-old man, twice divorced, with 9 children. He was living on the second floor of Joe's apartment house at the time Joe disappeared. The investigation of Kermit soon led police to David Phelps, a 24-year-old who briefly shared Kermit's apartment. They were lovers. Both men had a history of child molestation. David's sister, Gail Peterson, told police about her brother's problem, specifically on one incident in Arkansas.
David was sent down to live with me when I was down there, and I lived with a girl who had a 4-year-old daughter. And sometime during the night, he crawled into bed with her, and the little girl told her mother the next day, and then they came and told me about it.
Did you confront him?
Yes, I did.
What did he say?
He didn't deny it. The only thing he had to say was he did it because he wanted to feel good.
How old was he?
16.
Gail was concerned that her brother might be involved in Joe's disappearance. The police investigation seemed to be going nowhere. So she voiced her concern to Joe's mother, Joyce Cutler.
What did you do with that information?
I called my investigator. I tried to investigate him.
Roy Stevens.
Roy Stevens.
Roy Stevens, a private investigator who specializes in missing children, entered the case 5 days after Joe disappeared. He admits he became obsessed with it, worked without salary. When he questioned David Phelps, Phelps implicated Kermit, but offered nothing concrete. On January 4th, 1989, a year and a half after Joe disappeared, Stevens tried to bring the case to a head. He took Phelps out to a spot near where Joe's clothing was found. After an hour and a half of wandering around, Stevens said, Phelps began to break.
And he said, Roy, he goes, it's time to get this off the chest. I need to start telling him what happened.
Stevens says that David Phelps then confessed that he was involved in Joe's disappearance. Stevens took him to the Econo Lodge Motel in Norfolk, to room 115, where a local television crew was waiting. Phelps confessed again, this time on camera. He told Marcia Cady from Channel 3 Omaha that on the day Joe disappeared, he and Joe got into a car with Kermit, who drove him out to Woodbury.
Joe got really nervous and everything. Kermit got her out of the car. He put his left hand over her mouth and shoved her backwards. And Kermit kept his hand on her mouth, started fondling her stuff. I got real nervous and I says, hey, let's get the hell out of here, you know. And Kermit says, well, then you take the car and go back town. I'll get back later. And I left.
You didn't molest Joe.
I became very aroused when she was standing against me. The temptation was there, but I was more scared. I just wanted to get out of there.
You never touched her sexually?
No.
Who took her clothes off?
Kermit's the one that got her pants off.
Roy Stevens, the private investigator, was present during the Channel 3 taping and felt moved to ask David,
Have I or anybody else threatened you about making these comments?
No.
Police then picked up Phelps and brought him in for questioning.
He again repeated almost verbatim the exact same story that he gave to me. Only he went further in making the statement that Joe was not supposed to die, that it was an accident.
But when David Phelps' attorney showed up, he recanted the confession. Norfolk Police Chief Bill Meisner and County Attorney Richard Krepala felt that without Joe's body, they had no case.
He claimed that he had been under duress and that everything that he had said because of that duress.
Police released him that night and have not spoken to him since. But the next day, Phelps' sister Gail went to talk to him. She was furious and raised her hand as if to strike him.
I said, you little son of a bitch, after everything we've been through, and you say you're not going to talk to me. And he looked at me and said he was going to have me arrested for assault. And I said, fine. You go right ahead. That sounds real good coming out of a rapist and a murderer.
That's what you said.
That's what I said.
Please.
He looked at me and he had very cold eyes, very dead eyes, and he said, I did not confess to rape and murder. I confessed to kidnapping and molestation.
Channel 3 broadcast a brief excerpt of the confession that did not name Phelps and disguise his face and his voice. A few days later, David Phelps left Norfolk, Nebraska. Kermit Baumgarten stayed a week or so longer, then he too left town. David, who got married and a baby daughter, kept moving around. Close friends and family did not know their whereabouts. We managed to trace them to a cheap motel in Southern California.
Hi, David? David Phelps? Who are you? Hi, Morley Safer, CBS, 60 Minutes. Help? I would like to talk to you. About what? I think you know what we're going to talk about. I'd like to clear the air on this thing, on the whole thing. You know,
What you need to do, if you want to talk to anybody, you go talk to David Dowman in Norfolk first.
who's that?
My attorney, David Dowman, out of Norfolk, Nebraska.
Are you Kim? Hi, Kim. How are you? David? David?
We brought David's sister Gail along, hoping she could convince him to talk.
David, let me talk to you a minute.
After a few minutes, David agreed to talk to Gail, and a few minutes later came out again, obviously upset that we found him. In his confession, he'd said that he and Kermit had been drinking heavily the night before Joe disappeared. But here, he said he was sober. His own lawyer confirms the first version.
The circumstantial evidence here is this. This is a young man who was in the wrong place, using alcohol at the wrong time, who has a criminal record, who is himself of limited capacity.
David Domina is David Phelps' attorney. Domina is one of Nebraska's most prominent lawyers.
How can he defend a case like that?
We showed him Phelps' entire confession.
What he didn't say on the tape, and what his behavior suggested was, I think that there may have been fear and intimidation involved.
He has endangered my life because of Stevens. He has threatened me more than once to kill me. Now, David? Including the day we talked. Why did you sit down and talk to him? That's, like I said, I'm not going any further now, but you've now endangered my safety, my family.
Roy Stevens continued to deny any threat had been made. But quite suddenly, he made a remarkable confession to us. For the first time, he admitted he'd become so frustrated with lack of progress that he pulled a gun that day out at Wood Duck and fired a shot in the air.
He immediately turned around and looked at me. And I still was holding the gun straight up in the air. I then brought it down and put it away. His very first statement after that was to have a cigarette.
In making the admission that he threatened Phelps with a gun, Stevens also admitted his own criminal record.
No.
A burglary he committed 13 years before. As a convicted felon, he could not be licensed as a private investigator, so he lied on his application.
No.
He's going after him so hard, you know, ultimately. He paid a very heavy price, but it's costing my career. But it's a small price to pay. I was a private investigator up until yesterday. I turned my license in. Why did you pull the gun? Didn't you know that act could make anything that you then said subsequently invalid as evidence? I'm not so sure it makes it totally invalid. I'm not a cop. I'm just an ordinary citizen.
Because Stevens threatened Phelps, it may well be that Phelps did concoct a confession to get away from Stevens. Except for one quite chilling part of that confession, though police had never issued a description of Jill's underwear, Phelps was able to describe it.
I remember like white underwear and had these little circular designs on them, like little swirls and stuff on them.
Was that considered good at the time as a break in the case?
It was was looked at.
It's very bureaucratic, actually. What do you think?
It's something we looked at. It's not something that we passed over. It's not something that we missed. That was part of our consideration in conducting our follow-up investigation.
That included a brief questioning of Kermit Baumgartner last January. The police have not talked to him since. We found him living in a star hotel, a boarding house in Northern California.
Kermit? Hi, how are you? I'm Morty Safer from CBS. I want to talk to you about Norfolk. And David Phelps. And what you may remember about Jill Cutchell.
Yeah. What happened? I don't know, because I wasn't involved in it. No way with her.
Do you think David assaulted her?
I don't know.
Do you have a record for molesting children?
No, not that I know of.
Did you ever molest children?
No. Yes, I did too. I got picked up in Nebraska. I had a kid back there, he was 16 years old.
You were picked up by police in Nebraska?
I went to jail for a year. We got to do this on the street.
You want to go up and do it?
No, I don't want to go real good. Landlord throw me out.
You ever been to Woodduck?
Not to that my knowledge, no.
Ever?
I think he had a friend one time. And it was another friend's car. He drove someplace out that way, but never was my car.
You molested your own kids, didn't you?
I didn't, but that's what they tried. That's what the old lady, ex-old lady tried to prove.
Your former wives?
Yeah.
Well, the kids say that you did.
I did not.
Did you ever talk about little girls? You and David?
One time that's what I told that private investigator.
Yeah.
But, I told him what David Phelps told me that one day. He said, I'd like to get in her pants, is what he told me.
Talking about Jill?
That's what he told me.
I'm still trying to get to the bottom of why. Why Phelps would make up such a story about you.
I think he's trying to cover his own tracks, is what I think.
Chief Miser, what's the status of the Jill Cutchell case now?
Right now, we are in what we term to be a semi-active status, and we're waiting to see if there's any new leads that come in.
Phelps says he's been made into a scapegoat because of 2 felonies on his record and other incidents involving children.
We were talking about molestation, right?
Well,
there were incidents in your past.
Right.
You can take him out and put a bullet between his eyes. He's hurt a lot of children.
His sister.
That he's confessed to. I just don't believe society has any use for people like that.
There's no affection there.
For my brother, yes, but for the person who did this, no. My brother's dead. The human being that was in there is dead. And now, when he looked at me with those eyes that were just blank behind there, then I think that's when he died.
He should not be on the street. He has hurt 3 other girls. 4 counting Jill. He has a baby girl at home now. He may not have to go on the street to look for a little child.
Yeah.
He's got a 2-year-old baby girl at home. That scares the hell out of me.
Are you convinced in your own heart that he's not involved?
I'm convinced in my own heart that he is not guilty of any crime.
That wasn't the question.
That's the answer.
4 days after we first broadcast that story, a special prosecutor was appointed. A year ago, David Phelps was arrested and finally came to trial in March of this year. On April 26th, he was sentenced to life in prison with no chance of parole for kidnapping of Jill Cutchell. No charges were filed against Kermit Baumgartner, who testified against Phelps at his trial. Jill Cutchell's body has still not been found.
Yeah. Yeah, but until they got involved, nothing happened.
No.
If you've been thirsted for a cold,
No, it's no. E dash dash at 8:50 p.m.
What time did you start?
Says on the tape.
7:33.
We can always rewind the tape and find out when it started.
It's either at 7:33 or 6:33.
We'll watch it now. When the light goes out, I'll mark down the time and then just put it on the power pack and rewind it and get the time. But it's empty dash dash, so there's not too long left to go. Because that's what it was last time, and then I turned it on, and well, you turned it on and it kicked right off.
Yeah.
And when you see our new summer menu, tender grilled dishes, savory pastas, garden fresh salads, and luscious desserts, you see why we say, now, all the best of summer is yours at the Olive Garden Italian restaurant.
Your response to a heart attack could mean the difference between life and death. When symptoms persist, get to the hospital. Recent advances in the treatment of heart attacks, like thrombolytic therapy, can significantly reduce mortality. Remember, minutes can mean a lifetime. Get the facts. Call 1-800-665-HEART for free card and booklet with information on heart attack. 1-800-665-HEART.
Time once again for a few minutes with Andy Rooney.
We can have a little party tonight. According to what it says on the labels of these bags, boxes, and cans, there's food enough here for 193 people. 193 served. You added it all up. The government is requiring food packagers to indicate the number of servings in each package now. There's only one comment. The packagers get to decide how much a serving is. Serving per packet, 16. Number of servings, 8. Servings per bar, 4. Servings per package, 12. 16 slices of cheese for 12 people. Here's a can of tuna fish. According to what it says, this little can serves 1 3/4 people. We don't happen to have 3/4 of a piece in our house. When I eat tuna fish, I'm about 1.5 people myself. Look at this little box of cornflakes. Serving size, it says, 11/16 of an ounce.
11/16.
For breakfast, I could eat 10 of these. Here's a box of 9 Kellogg's cornflakes. It says 1 serving is the equivalent of 1 1/2 bread exchanges. Now, what the hell is 1 1/2 of a bread exchange? Oatmeal cookies. They say a serving is 2 cookies. Surely they're joking. Diet Pepsi, 2 servings per container. How often do 2 people share a Coke or a Pepsi? And here's the silliest one of all, Ruffles potato chips. It says serving size about 18 chips per person. Number of servings, 6. We tried to divide the bag into 6 equal servings. These 2 piles have exactly 18 chips in them, but you know what a bag of potato chips is like by the time you get it home. These piles are mostly just crumbs. Has anyone watching ever opened a bag of potato chips and stopped after eating 18 of them? There are things that government can do for us and things that government can't do for us. And one of the things the government can't do for us is tell us how many potato chips we're going to eat.
Yeah.
I'm Rick Bradley. We'll be back next week with another edition of 60 Minutes.
Have you heard the latest? A&W has just introduced a breakthrough in fries. They're cholesterol-free, and they're low in saturates, too. Try them. They're more delicious than ever. Wow.
Last night.
See? Good news travels fast.
Did the same one on again tonight, imagine.
You find it warm,
And here,
square, man, anytime and anywhere, man. Luck is everywhere. Where do you play, you ask? Well, how about Nipawak, Pitawa, Manibus, Flipon, Granby, Smoker Hill, Isabella, Gimli, Goose Jaw, Weaver, Cinnamon, Estevan, Humboldt, Balfour, Eyebrow, Lucky Lake, Okotoks, Small Second, Upbridge, Bremdeer, Erie County, Barhead, Finnegan, Wobbleman. Wherever you are, if you're looking for luck, why not start from scratch? Luck is everywhere, man. Luck.
You're watching Sir 3 TV, BFRN. At Red Lobster, we serve up delicious extras at no extra charge, like unlimited hot fresh red, crisp Caesar or garden salad, your choice of potato or fresh vegetables.
Yeah, well, don't turn your TV on in the bedroom when you go to bed.
Announcing Red Lobster's
Turn your
new
TV
lunch
on
menu,
and then you
featuring our
don't
lunch
get to
shrimp
sleep.
combo, just $4.99. Tempting broiled and fried shrimp, plus potatoes, salad, and garlic bread for a limited time, just $4.99 at Red Lobster for lunch.
Yeah, well, if you weren't watching it, maybe you'd get sleepy sooner.
Put fun into summer and heat on the competition with the hottest deals around. Featuring Tempo and Topaz with $1,500 cash back. Save now, it's fun. Get hot savings with $1,500 cash back. See your Alberta Ford and Mercury dealer today.
Specifics on everybody.